Hello everybody, it's Sam from the Football Network and welcome to the third episode of the Oxford United Football Manager 2017 save. Of course, last time out we beat Swindon by 3-0. The best first half of football I've ever had in Football Manager. It was an absolutely delightful game of football for us in the first half. We then travelled to Stadium MK and drew 1-1 with MK Dons. Daniel Powell, with 15 minutes to go, gave them the lead, but Kane Hemmings, with 10 minutes left on the clock, equalised for us. I'll be honest, in this game we were very, very poor and I wasn't happy at all with how we played. We had so many chances to just squander them. We then had a home game, of course, at the Casam Stadium, as you can see, where we beat Charlton Athletic by 2-0, a brace for Wes Thomas. Wes Thomas started that game because he came to me and said, "Boss, I want to play some first team football. Can you provide it for me?" So I thought, we've got some relatively easy games probably coming up. So I thought I'd start him, and as you can see, he got a very, very good start to his life in the starting 11 with a brace. We then travelled to Roots Hall, where we beat Southend by 2-1. Simon Cox in the 23rd minute opened the scoring, but Wes Thomas again getting another brace to secure us the 3 points. So, as you can tell, a very good start for him in the starting 11. 2 braces, 4 goals in total, of course, in 2 games. We then travelled to the Macron Stadium, where we won 2-0 against Bolton. Joe Rothwell and Marvin Johnson getting the goals to yet again secure us the 3 points. We then had another home game at Casam Stadium in the Checkatrade Trophy group stage. Wes Thomas and Dan Crowley again scoring in the competition as we go top. We then had another home game, as you can see, against AFC Wimbledon, where a hat-trick from Kane Hemmings really made it almost impossible for AFC Wimbledon to get anything from the game. Dean Parrott tried just before half-time, but the quality of Kane Hemmings was too strong for them. Another home game, a 1-1 draw against Bradford City. Wes Thomas in the 32nd minute opened the scoring, but James Hansen a minute later, pretty much from kick-off, equalised for them. This was really, really annoying. Right from kick-off, we defended poorly, and I was not happy at all with the fact that we, obviously had to share the spoils at the Casam. We then travelled to the Ricoh Arena, where, as you can see, a 91st minute goal from substitute Kane Hemmings secured us the 3 points. He's continued his amazing run of form. We then travelled to Vale Park, where we beat Port Vale by 2-0. Wes Thomas getting another goal and Phil Edwards scoring a penalty to secure us the 3 points. You can see Michael Brown and Anthony Grant actually got sent off. They were down to 9 men at full time. As you can see, they got sent off within 12 minutes of each other. So not a good day for Port Vale. And the final game before the FA Cup first round was against Millwall. As you can see, a 1-0 win at the Casam Stadium. Another goal for Kane Hemmings. Before we get into the game against Harrogate, who of course are our opponents in the FA Cup first round, there's a couple of things I just want to show you stats-wise in terms of the league. So if we have a look at player stats, as you can see, Kane Hemmings has got 6 more goals than his nearest opposition, Chris Long. Kane Hemmings and Curtis Nelson are first and second respectively for the highest average rating. Marvin Johnson's got the most assists so far, 1 more than Carl Dempsey. Kane Hemmings and Wes Thomas have got 5 and 4 player of the matches respectively, and Simon Eastwood has kept the most clean sheets so far this season with 10, 2 ahead of course, as you can see, of Chris Neal. If I show you the league, as you can see, we've scored 31 goals. That means, of course, as you've probably already worked out, Kane Hemmings has been responsible for pretty much half of our goals so far this season. He's been so vital for us. As you can see, we're on 40 points in the season so far, 7 ahead already of Port Vale, and we've opened up a very, very nice gap, and we're still unbeaten in League One. So, of course, it's the game against Harrogate at Wetherby Road. Something interesting to point out about Harrogate is that they play in the same league as Worcester, who are the side that George faced in Season 1 in the FA Cup first round of his save last year. So the side that I'm going to be playing against Harrogate is Benjamin Shell in goal, Sam Long and Josh Ruffle start as the fullbacks, Cheyenne Dunkley and Charlie Raglan start as the centre halves. Ryan Ledson starts just behind Joe Rothwell in the centre of midfield. Alex McDonald returns to the side after a short time out injured. Tyler Roberts starts on the left hand side. Dan Crowley starts just behind Wes Thomas. The bench is Simon Eastwood, Aaron Martin, Joe Scars, John Lundstrom, Rob Hall, who came back from injury, I believe a month ago, and he's been okay. Of course, with him, it's just about getting back into the starting 11 and getting in some kind of form to really build up his confidence again. Chris Maguire and Kane Hemmings with Liam Circle, Marvin Johnson, Phil Woods, Curtis Nelson, and James Roberts not starting in the matchday squad, I should say. So here we are. I was actually really happy that we drew Harrogate, because I thought this will, apart from our pre-season games against the likes of course, Didcot, Brackley and Aberdeen United, this will probably be our easiest game of the season so far. That's their starting 11, and of course my instructions remain the same for the game. So of course I'm going to do the usual. Keep the run going, lads. We've been off, of course, you can see a very, very good run of form. One loss all season so far. Of course, that was the second game of the season against Fulham in the EFL Cup. So, can we make some progression in the FA Cup? Can we get, apart from Chester Trophy, of course, can we get some kind of a decent cup run going? I can't remember exactly what our minimum expectation is for the FA Cup. But I imagine it's probably the third round. I would probably expect. This should be a game where we completely dominate possession, considering the golfing class between ourselves and Harrogate. So we're about 15 minutes in, and no highlights so far. So we've had 3 shots. Oh, we've got one here. Crook, their goalkeeper, puts it forward, trying to get it to their man out wide. It's intercepted. They've got the ball back. With Platt, low. Trying to pass it on. Rothwell does well to take it back. Headed down. Back to low. Puts it forward again. Josh Ruffles does well to get the ball there. Dan Crowley, can he collect? Yes, he can. Dan Crowley, the man on loan from Arsenal, is tackled. Now they're back in possession. Joe Rothwell. Tyler Roberts. Dan Crowley. Crowley, now to Ryan Ledson. Ledson on the ball. Maybe looking for either a run on the right hand side. Finds Wes Thomas. Thomas, maybe looking for support. He's being crowded out here. Thomas, dispossessed. Did well there, Ryan Ledson. This is like ping pong football here. Comes to Charlie Raglan. Raglan maybe trying to put it over the top. Yes, he does. Dan Crowley. Wes Thomas to get onto it though. Oxford United lead. 16 minutes in. Wes Thomas with his 10th goal of the season. The man who's been on such fire of late has got us the lead. As I said, ping-pong, tennis-like football. After constant back and forth between, obviously swapping the ball, Crowley does well to head. I think it was Crowley to head it on. Wes Thomas runs onto it, strikes it beautifully. It's a very nice strike into the back of the net. We've got a chance here. A minute after the restart. On the ball, but it's intercepted by Alex McDonald. McDonald on the ball. Alex McDonald looking to make a run down the right hand side. Maybe can he find Wes Thomas, but his intercept is tackled, I should say. Now Platt's on the ball, but Alex McDonald couldn't quite get the ball. Now they're on the attack here. Ball over the box, in the box, I should say. Charlie Raglan dawdles, but just about gets it clear. "20 minutes in, we lead by a goal to nil. Of course, as I said, as I predicted, I should say, we've been much more deserving. Oh no, Alex McDonald's been injured again. He's only recently come back. What's that injury? Potential knee injury. Oh god, that could be horrible for the man. So we're going to bring on Rob Hall. 25 minutes. That's a horrible injury for him to pick up. As I said, he's only just come back from an injury. So I'm going to swap Tyler Roberts out to the right-hand side. Swap him and Rob Hall. Get them onto their preferred feet. So I've got faith that Rob Hall can make the difference. But that's not nice at all. That's kind of gutting. But it does mean that Rob Hall can get some more first-team football to, of course, try and force his way into a permanent starting place in the starting 11. But hopefully that's not too serious an injury for Alex McDonald. He's been pretty good for us up till this point in the season. He's been very, very crucial. Of course, as I said, Rob Hall has been out injured, and Maguire's been playing down the centre of the park. Ryan Ledson fed the ball by Sam Long off the throw-in. Ball in, denied. Shakari now receives it for Harrogate. Now trying to play it into the centre. Can Rob Hall? Rob Hall does very, very well to hit the ball. Where's Thomas? Thomas finds Crowley. Dan Crowley. Back to Joe Rothwell. Rothwell maybe looking for an option either out wide. Finds Rob Hall. Hall. Back to Ryan Ledson. Ledson. Back to Rothwell. Rothwell. Crowley. Hall. Good passing football here from Oxford United. Back to Ryan Ledson. Rothwell. Trying to find that cutting edge into the defence of Harrogate. Crowley. Ledson. Rothwell. The three former Premier League men. Now it's Rob Hall. Rob Hall still running. Still going. Rob Hall slots it into the back of the net. At about 13 minutes after coming on, Rob Hall gets his first goal of the season back from injury. And a very nice bit of passing play. As I said, great passing from the three former Premier League youngsters. And Rob Hall just blazes through their back line. Very nicely struck and puts it in the back of the net to give us a 2-0 lead 5 minutes before half time. Very, very well done there from Rob Hall. And that is really why we've been so dominant in League One. That effortless connection between the attacking and the defence. Of course, put together by the midfielders who are pulling the strings there. So I'm very pleased with how we're going so far. That really sums up our season. That goal, just effortless passing play, and a very good little finish from the returning Rob Hall. It looks like he's taking his opportunity in the first team very, very seriously, even though it's only against Harrogate. So we're about to get the second half underway here at Wetherby Road. Of course, we lead by 2-0. Goals from Wes Thomas and Rob Hall. A little bit apart, about half an hour apart, give us the lead. And now, from kick-off, second half, this is really about just building on the scoreline so far and putting the result within doubt. Past doubt and into absolute certainty that we're going to walk away with a win here and progress into the second round of the FA Cup. So, 55 minutes in. Just looking at the stats, we've more successful completed passes, of course. Successful completed tackles. Only 4 tackles have been attempted by the boys today. Of course, possession and shots, you'd expect us to dominate, considering, as I said, how good we've been, and considering the golfing class really between these two sides. Harrogate are a Vanarama National League North side, and we're of course a League One side who are sitting pretty at the top of the table. As I said at the start of the video, 7 points clear of Peterborough. So we've got about 20 minutes to go. I want to make a substitution. I'm going to bring off the booked Ryan Ledson because I do not need another player out. So there we go. Bring in John Lundstrom, who to date is still the only player to be shown a red card for Oxford United this season. But I am being very careful when it comes to players getting booked. If it's a midfielder and if it's one of the two midfielders, I always pull them out of the game. Of course, to ensure they don't get that second yellow card. Of course, we've dominated this game. They've gone 4-3-3, maybe potentially attempt to, or at least they would probably think, exploit our 2 men in midfield with 3 men up top. Platt on the ball for Harrogate. Platt gives it to Thirkwell, I think it is. Leslie back to Platt. Rob Hall, can he get the ball off him? There's Knowles. Goes back to Kerry. Ball into the box. Well saved there by Benji Bichelle. I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, Benji Bichelle kind of playing for his future. In the early few FA Cup games, I will be playing him just to see how he gets on, because right now, of course, we have 4 goalkeepers at the club who could potentially start for the side. But Rob Hall, he's got the ball down the left-hand side. Maybe looking to find Wes Thomas in the box. Ball in. Thomas collects it. 3-0 Oxford United. Signed, sealed and delivered. We're into the second round, I should say, of the FA Cup. And Rob Hall, again, another big contribution from the man. That big, good ball in. And Wes Thomas all on his own. What are the Harrogate defence doing? You can't give Wes Thomas in his current form that much space. But as I was saying, Benji Bichelle is a player who... We've got 4 goalkeepers currently at the club who could potentially be the understudy pretty much to Simon Eastwood. So it's really a case of how they get on in that role, if they completely fluff it up or anything like that. Dan Crowley finds Wes Thomas. Thomas, hat-trick hero! Oh, good save by Crook, and it's gone for a corner kick. Wes Thomas almost had his hat-trick, but well saved by the Harrogate goalkeeper. 2 minutes ago plus stoppage time, ball into the box. Saved by the goalkeeper. Is he going to maybe try... No, they haven't got enough men forward to try and go for a counter-attack. And it looks like that will be the last major highlight of the game. A big chance that was for Wes Thomas to get his hat-trick. Ball into the box. Well saved by Benji Bichelle. And this goal kick, or this clearance I should say, is going to be the final action. There it is. Full time. Oxford United 3. Harrogate 0. And despite the injury to Alex McDonald, which potential knee injury, I hope that's not too serious. Goals, of course, from Wes Thomas and returning Rob Hall progress us into the second round of the FA Cup. I'm very happy with that. A very good and convincing win. Harrogate definitely put up a fight, but we were just too good for them. And to say that result was on the cards would be a bit of an under-exaggeration. So guys, of course, I need to decide which game we're going to come back for in the next episode. First, actually, we'll have a look at come along. Alex McDonald's out for... obviously, Hammer Harrogate got 18k. How long is he out for? Oh my god. Oh, Christ. 7 weeks. And you're getting tackled. What's he got? Damaged knee cartilage. Oh, poor guy. So that, of course, is going to be the time for Rob Hall to step up and see what he can do in the first team. So let's see. What game shall we come back for? The FA Cup second round game is there. Draws in a couple of days. But don't think... Right. Already spotted that one right there. The second game against Swindon Town at the county ground. That is the game we'll come back for in the 4th episode. Another game against Swindon. Hopefully we can batter them even worse than we did last episode. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any suggestions, by the way, for players you think I should sign in January, because that match will happen, I think, in February. Let's have a look again. Where is it? There it is. So that will happen, yeah, on the 4th of February. So if you've got any suggestions for players you think I could sign, let me know in the comments down below. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the third episode, I should say, of the Oxford United Full Manager 2017 save. Another 3-0 hammering of another side. This time, of course, Harrogate in the first round of the FA Cup. It's the best possible start to the season. Continues for Oxford United. I'll see you guys in the next video.